This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Ernesto Prieto Gratacós. Welcome to London Real.
My absolute pleasure to be here, Brian. Thank you.
Great to have you here. Tell us about you. Where are you from and what do you do?
Well, I was born in Cuba, which is a very fertile environment for wannabe scientists back in the 70s and the 80s. So then I migrated to Argentina. My mother was Argentinian, and we've been creating companies around healthcare, innovations ever since. Particularly the metabolic therapy of cancer, our main subject this last decade. So I set up this lab, and we've been doing it for 12 years now. It's a huge disruptive innovation, right? So treating cancer from a thermodynamic standpoint. Not poisoning, not cutting, not burning the tumors, but just sort of strangling them to death, right? Starving the tumors with... it's actually a tricky thing we did. We discovered that we could exploit tumors' avidity for glucose and glutamine. We could exploit that, which is, by the way, are you familiar with the PET scan, the positron emission tomography?
Yes.
Oh, they use this. What you do there is you inject radioactive glucose, and tumor cells just light up, right? They reveal themselves through their avidity for glucose. So we said, wait a minute, we can exploit this therapeutically. So we came up with this strategy of injecting, what are called glucose analogs, or glucose and glutamine analogs, structural analogs. What it means is a molecular food that is undigestible, in a sense. So they choke on that, and it wreaks havoc with the energy metabolism of cancer cells. So we can do that. It's simple, it's effective, it's just slick, and replicable at scale. So we've been pushing that agenda to all the nations of the third world, because they have nothing there. They have no way of fixing the cancer problem at a nation level. But recently we've been doing it in the first world also, Canada and the NHS here in the UK, because there is a storm coming, my friend. Cancer incidence is increasing exponentially. It's a low exponent, right? But it is increasing exponentially. Whereas cancer mortality is decreasing, but sublinearly. So that gives you a widening gap. So at some point, considering that the prices of treating cancer are spiraling up, we're heading for a disaster. So in my appreciation of the situation, the next huge financial crisis is not going to come from real estate or any other, the banks or anything. It's going to come from a healthcare crisis. So the insurers, particularly the state, which always picks up the bill, they won't have, they're technically broke. Medicare, Medicaid in the States, the infamous Affordable Health Care Act, the Obamacare, resulted in an increase of about 30% of the costs. So it's just backfired. So we have a financial crisis in our hands. It's a Armageddon waiting to happen.
And you have a revolutionary way
Absolutely.
of looking at cancer treatment.
Yeah, sure.
You're here in London meeting with people in the NHS, and we're working with you to find ways of getting your incredible ideas and IP out there on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So that's why you came to find us, or why? What was going on inside of you to seek out our help? That's what I want to know.
And the thing is, we need to go out there in the English-speaking world, because we're impacting hundreds of lives, which is nothing. We have 50 million deaths annually due to cancer worldwide. So we're doing nothing there. We have this fantastic disruptive innovation. So let us disrupt the heck of. It's going to be a huge transformation in the healthcare landscape in the next decade. So we can stop cancer within the next decade. But for that, we need allies, right? So this is a formidable mission, larger than life. And okay, we need to put our discoveries, which are many and run deep, out there for everybody to use, right? So how do you go about solving the cancer problem once and for all at a planetary scale? You look for allies, you look for friends and with the heart in the right place, and a bright mind, and a robust set of kidneys, if you know what I mean. So, but it takes a lot of audacity and persistence and resilience. So that's why we came to you, Ryan. Okay. I'm pleased to be here.
Well, that's been great to have you in there. And look, you came on, and I'm like, okay, this guy seems like a mad scientist. But the more I get to know you, the rest I realize you're less mad and more scientist. And it's great to see that, and it's great to see you really taking strong action and just moving forward and like coming here and meeting with the NHS and being like, okay, Brian, I hear what you're saying, and I know what I'm doing. So let's find a way to move this forward bigger. And it's really exciting stuff. And so if we can get your communication on point, then it really could change the world.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where do you want to be 5 years from now? I'm glad you're here today because I want to stick a marker in the sand right now, okay? December 5th, 2019 now. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? If everything goes to where you see it going now with all the hard work you have to do, going uncomfortable, killing the darlings, where do you want to be?
Well, it's going to be hard work for years, intelligent hard work for years to just actually implementing the final solution for cancer at a planetary scale. This can be done. I'm certain, but it's going to take. Of course, we have to acquire, we as an organization, a certain amount of knowledge that we don't have yet. But it's not the knowledge part I'm worried about. It's the being part. So who do I need to be to just actually fulfill our mission? That worries me. And of course, I have some problems in my family. We have 3 daughters with Daddy, my wife, and my little daughter, which is not little at all. She's 18 now. She's severely autistic. So that is a thorn, in that place, and I need to solve that. So the state of the knowledge is not there yet. I haven't found a solution for autism, so I would pretty much like to just wrap the cancer thing, as crazy as it sounds. We're right there. Believe you me, we're right there. We as a culture, all right. Somebody's gonna get there, with who's gonna. It's going to be
so 5 years from now, you want to wrap this whole campaign.
Oh yeah. Before that, some other guys and gals, we're being forming. They have to,
But to do it, you have to become that guy.
Oh yeah.
And you have to become the leader. So it's like no pressure, but that is the case. It's like we all have to step up and lead.
Absolutely.
And as Jocko Willink says, lead also means lead your life. And so it just means leadership is not about giving orders. Like leadership is about embodying and doing things without ego for a great purpose, and communicating and motivating people to understand that mission and go along for the purpose of that mission.
In pointing that out, so that is a challenge. So in 5 years, to wrap it up, I need to become a whole, just one man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Luckily, you're in the inner circle, so you're with me for like the next 4 months. Look, I'm really glad we met. I feel honored that I can be a part of such a big shift in the treatment of cancer. So I'm taking this personally, Ernesto, and I'm just excited to meet you. You got great energy, so let's just get it focused. Wrap the cancer thing up, as you would say, and then go off on these other projects. Look, it's great having you.
It's about time.
Yeah, right? But it's great.
It's
great having you on the team, and let's do some big things, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ryan. God bless you.